Okay, so we're going to go through the first 4 questions for today's practice slides there. These are the ones that are only asking for the discriminant. So when you had to do this, half of them you had to show work for, half you didn't. I'm going to show you the work for all of them. So that way you have it and you can check it and you know how to do each of these 4 questions. Okay, so the very first question, 3x squared minus 21 equals 3. So in order to find my discriminant, first thing I have to do is get it equal to 0. It always has to equal 0 before I can do any part of my quadratic formula. Okay, so we get 3x squared minus 24 equals 0. Now from here, I need to label my a, b, and c. So my a is any number attached to my x squared. So in this case, it's 3. My b is the number that's attached to an x. I don't have one. I don't have a middle term. I don't have an x. So my b is actually 0 since I'm missing it. And my c value is then my negative 24. So that is a common mistake, is people forget that it should be ax squared plus bx plus c. Remember, it should look like this form. And if it's missing any part, I have to put a 0 as a placeholder. Okay, so I have that b equals 0. From here, I'm going to find my discriminant. Remember, the discriminant is the b squared minus 4ac portion of your quadratic formula. So I am simply going to find that by plugging in each of the terms that I just came up with. So b was 0. We just said that. 4 times a is 3, and c is negative 24. And then from there is simply calculator. So I'm going to put it in my calculator. I'm going to come up with 288. So that is my discriminant value. And it's a positive value. So that's going to tell me I'm going to have 2 real solutions. Anytime I end up with a positive value for my discriminant is 2 real solutions. So that's your first question. Second question, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my problem. I'm going to get one side equal to 0. So I'm going to start by subtracting that 12x. When you move anything, please be sure you put it into your standard form so everything lines up perfectly. From here, I can then find my a, b, and c. So a is 2, b is my negative 12, and c is the negative 54. Again, we're going to use our discriminant formula, b squared minus 4ac. I'm going to fill in everything I know and then plug it in my calculator. So in this case, when you go through and you calculate it, you are going to get d equals 576. So again, that's my discriminant value, which again is still positive. So I have 2 real solutions here. Okay, our third one, same process. I have 5x squared minus 50x equals a negative 135. So we're going to move that 135 over by adding it. Make sure I'm writing it in standard form. I'm going to label. My a is 5. B is negative 50. So what's nice about this is I don't have to care about the size of my numbers. C is 135. I don't have to worry about trying to factor that. I can just plug them into a formula and simplify from there. And again, that formula that we're going to use for our discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. Make sure you are bringing your signs with your values. That is very important. And also a common mistake is people try to bring the letters. Don't bring your letters. Do not bring that x and x squared. Keep just your coefficients. And when I put that in my calculator, I get a negative 200. So that's my discriminant value. This tells me I'm going to have no real solutions. In fact, I'm going to have 2 imaginary ones. So that is the type that I'm going to end up with, 2 imaginary solutions, because I'm going to end up taking a square root of a negative number. Okay, and the last question that you guys had to do with the discriminant, already set up for us, so that's nice and easy. Now in this case, I am missing. There's nothing written there. Remember, it's a 1. You have that 1x squared. So my A term is 1, B is -7, and C is 12. Okay, again, B squared minus 4AC. We're going to plug them in, put it in your calculator, simplify. And this discriminant comes out to be 1. I have a discriminant of 1. It's a positive number, so I still have 2 real solutions here. Okay, stay tuned for part 2.